Welcome to the Play Chess Not Checkers, the podcast, where eye care goes to meet their heroes and learn how they turn their passion for eyes into a business of success. Now, I have another one of my personal friends on here, my optometry bestie, Dr. Jennifer Chinn, and I'm excited to have her on, and we're going to bring her on stage. How are you doing? How you doing?
Good. How are you? I'm so honored to be here.
Yes. So, I was talking to you about this for a little while, and you got me out of my stage fright and said, just shut up and do it. So
Yes,
that's what we're doing. And I
absolutely.
said, if you're gonna make me shut up and do it, then you have to agree to come on as a guest. So we're gonna have some fun today. My goal for today is that people get to learn a little bit about you because you've been doing a lot of things, and I just saw you on the Vision Expo and Vision Expo. You was at Vision Source stage. You had the Eagle. We're gonna talk about all that stuff. So I'm loving seeing where you're going, but I want people to learn a little bit more about you before all that. So we're gonna go back in the
Yeah.
time machine. Go back in the time. Now, how was it being the daughter of an optometrist? What was that growing up like? 12-year-old you, 5-year-old you.
Yeah.
How was that
Yeah.
experience?
That experience was, I mean, obviously, I was like in the practice when I was a kid. Like when I think I was like 12 or 13, and I was working in the office, not getting paid, but learning things. Like I was teaching contact lens trainings because I had already been wearing contacts for a very long time myself. I learned how to do like Humphrey visual fields, and I was doing that on patients. So I was learning a lot about just the normal day to day flow, not necessarily the operations, but it was great. I mean, it was awesome because I got to see my dad in his element and how he works with patients and the rapport he has and the relationships that he builds with them and how he just kind of makes it his own. All of us kind of practice very differently and we have different ideas of how we should give patient care. And it's been great to be able to watch him grow and see how he establishes his care with his patients.
Okay. Now, did you always know you wanted to be an optometrist, even though you saw it? When did you say that's what I want to do versus I'm helping my dad out, or I have to be here because nobody's here to watch me, so I got to do something. I got to fold these towels or clean the bathroom kind of thing. When did you say this is for me though?
Yeah, so I think it was so after I graduated from college, I took like a year and a half off. And then during that year and a half, I was like working at a like local indie bookstore and I was just kind of like doing my own thing. I always knew that I wanted to be in healthcare. So even undergrad, I did like, anatomy and physiology as my like concentration and biology and all of that. So I had all the prerequisites to go into healthcare. I just didn't know if I wanted to go into med school or if I wanted to pursue optometry. And then during that time, I shadowed quite a few other like medical professions, and I just realized how much I feel like optometry is such a great profession because every optometrist that I've ever shadowed like loves their job. Like they absolutely love their job and they're like this job is so like stress free. Like our patients are pretty chill, like the patients are so nice to us, like we build great relationships, we provide really great care to our patients. It's not super stressful in the sense of like being an ER doctor or something like that. We're not performing surgeries in the sense of having that amount of stress on you. And then also being a woman and loving fashion, this is like one of the only medical professions that has that like they're intertwined together. So I think that once I kind of realized that and was able to see other people in different modes of practice, that was like, okay, this is probably something that I can grow to love, even if it's not something that like I was super passionate about or I knew that I wanted to be an optometrist.
Now, did when your dad came home, was he smiling about the day, or was he like feeling like looking like beat up after a day at the office? Like, what was that experience? How did you receive that?
Yeah. He usually was smiling. I mean, he's pretty, if you meet him, he's pretty chill and laid back and low key. I mean, he owned three practices at one point and they were like in all different parts of the city. Like he would be driving like 45 minutes here, 45 minutes there just to see patients. And the main reason why he had so many practices was to like service different communities. He noticed that there was a need to have him there in certain communities, but he loves his job. Like he absolutely loves it. And to this day, I mean, still, he's not even fully retired. He still helping me see patients, but also he's like every day he's like reading the news about like, oh, this new, machine is coming out. Like, oh, this is how they're integrating AI into eye care. So he's super passionate about our career and our industry and like what we can do for patients and how we can help them. He's always on top of like the latest research as well. So I mean, he's always been that way, and it's amazing to get to see that and to work with him.
So that's, and I'm going to ask this of everybody because this is going to be, this podcast is going to be my ability to kind of talk and connect and engage and ask these questions that you probably want to ask of somebody that you think or you admire. But I've seen the difference between the docs that had a successful office, but that when they came home, they brought the negative part of it. Like, was your dad able to come to your recitals and come to your spelling bees? And was he there or was he not there?
So, because he owned three practices, is something that he was talking to my mom about recently, that he does regret that he wasn't able to be there. I was a swimmer when I was a kid. So, like, I had a lot of like swim meets and stuff on the weekends. He was not always able to be there. And that's something that, as my
You get older,
father, like, as I'm growing up now, he's like, he missed out on that a little bit.
so
Yeah.
this
But
is
he was a private practice owner. He had three practices. Like, what can he do? Right.
as an adult, you understand that. I don't know if kids
Yes.
understand that. And this is
No.
where like I'm talking to everybody because some of the most successful docs I've seen, none of their kids are optometrists. And I have a 4-year-old. So like, I mean, it's over my shoulder, but other side.
Yeah.
But like, I have a 4-year-old and not that I want her to be an optometrist, but I don't want her to see the negative part of it, because
Yeah.
after you go through the whole day and you give all your energy and you give all your smiles, like I've had some crazy patients today. Like it's been like a wild day just before we get on this recording here. And like before you get onto that, by the time you come home, sometimes you're on fumes and the kids in your family only see the fumes. So they don't see the smiling part of your day. So then as a kid, would I want to choose the profession that had my dad not? So you
Stressed
said
out.
he was still smiling, you see? And
Yeah.
that's where I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you come home and talk about the good things? Because I feel like if more of us came home and talked about the 10 reviews that were positive that we got, instead of, I can't believe she wrote this negative thing about me. After all, then we're talking about the negative. Then the kids
Yes.
are receiving that and saying, why would I want to be in a profession that you don't look happy about? So you
Right.
just said your dad was smiling. So I'm taking it in. I'm trying to figure it out because, if it was an easy thing, everybody would do it, but it's trying to figure out how do you thread that needle there. Um,
Absolutely.
okay. Now you went to St. Louis in St. Louis College of
Yes.
Optometry, right? How was
Yes.
your experience there? And where was your favorite place to go off campus?
Um, so my experience there was great. I loved St. Louis. It was like the perfect place for me to go to optometry school. And like a lot of people ask me, being from California, like, why did you choose to go to school in St. Louis? Like, why didn't you stay in Cali or like at least close by? But my undergrad actually is, the school is kind of a little bit different where most of your major classes are small. So like my major courses for biology and anatomy and all of that, like there was maximum like 30 students. And so I knew, because I took a year and a half off after graduating from undergrad, that I was like, I need to take this career seriously. So I need to take optometry school seriously. I need to be in a smaller class size. So that's why I chose St. Louis. And it was a fantastic experience. I think our class size was perfect for me. I got to know all of my classmates really well. And again, this is our 10-year anniversary from graduating this year. So a little nostalgic about thinking back about optometry school, but it was fantastic. I think all the professors there that I learned from, they were all great. And I felt like I really had the ability to like get to know them and ask them questions if I needed to, which was really helpful for me to be able to like have that one-on-one connection with a lot of the professors that were there. Um, and some of the places that I enjoyed going, honestly, was just Forest Park. It's like this big park in kind of the middle of the city where they have tons of different things you can do. You can walk, bike, they have these trails and stuff. They also have a zoo that's free. You don't have to pay anything to go to the zoo. And they have like museums there. They have all these different like things that you can do in that area. And it's just like a beautiful part of the city. So I loved going there.
Okay. Now, speaking of your travels and like places to go, since you are a world traveler, I follow you on Instagram, and then I'm like, oh, you're going somewhere again? Where's one place you would say everybody should visit? Out of all the places you visited, if you got to pick one place and you say before you die, you have to go to this one place that I have been to. Where do you
Mhm.
suggest everybody else go?
I think the place that I rave about the most in that aspect is Japan, because you learn so much about like how they, like, everything is so efficient there, everybody's so cordial, everybody like follows the rules in that aspect. It's just everything makes sense there, like everything just flows easily, everything's on time. Like, it's such a different type of lifestyle. It's a big city, right? So if you go into the big cities, it's great. And then you kind of get to see that. It's like a big city like New York, but it's just on another level. Like, it's just every time you go there, you just learn something new and you get to see these like amazing people and learn about the culture. And it's an awesome place to go.
Well, I'm putting that down. I'm definitely going. I definitely got to go for the cherry blossoms. So it's
Yes.
on the list. Okay, Japan, got that. I got that. I got that there. Now we got to connect initially through the Transitions Change Agent program, where we got to see each other more, got to connect. What was your experience in that program? And I know it's kind of going away now, and maybe it'll come back again. But for all those that didn't know about it, and what was your experience like in that program?
I absolutely love the Transitions Change Agent program, especially when we first started. When we met each other, we met all of our friends, Sheena, Daryl, like all of those people that were there initially, because it really helped build our bonds. And I felt like I was like, wow, I've really met people that are just as passionate as me about eye care, about our industry, about learning more, about going out and doing the thing. Because we can get so caught up in just the day to day of seeing patients. But you need to go out there and talk to your colleagues and talk to other people to learn from each other. And I felt like that was such a great experience for me because I had a lot more hands on opportunity to spend time with you guys. It has changed quite a bit from when we were doing it, but it was such a great opportunity. We obviously were there as ambassadors to, one, learn about the products and be able to, educate not only our patients but other colleagues as well as our staff members about it. But we also got like the firsthand news of like, oh, this is the new technology coming out this year, and we got to test it out, and we had hands-on demos and things like that at the academy. That was like really different than other trade shows. So it was like the entire academy was basically on that technology, and it was cool to learn about it. But it has changed a little bit, and the change agent program has shifted, and I think they're doing something different. But it was a great way for me to meet you guys and just to learn more about our industry. So I loved it.
Yeah, I would say because with some of the other conferences, we may be going to different classes. We may have different appointments in the exhibit halls. So people we kind of divide up. With this, everybody stuck together, and then we had time to build relationship because once you have that relationship and that bond, that can carry over somewhere else. But getting that core foundation of relationship, getting to know one another, and if you had a question and you need something later, because we built the relationship and we had time together, that really did help. And I think that program was really good and instrumental in getting started and making the conferences fun again, making the time
Yeah.
together fun again. And then when they were coming out with the transitions in the contacts, when they were coming out transitions in colors, that was like the perfect time to be there because it was so different and so much that we were learning. Um,
Yeah.
that was a really fun time. It's sad it's going away. Hopefully, maybe the
Yeah.
industry will change where it will come back again, or there'll be another conference like that because I think that really did make what was a big difference in how we got to experience eye care. Now,
Absolutely.
I got to see and get to see your fashion sense from going to Vision Expo West together. Y'all coming in with new suits every day, coming in with the tripod and the light and the whole thing, and you're like, check my lighting and what's behind my hair. I mean, it was a whole thing. Where did your sense for fashion come in this whole thing? Like, where is the fashion part that I got to see and experience of you from the Vision Expo East and West there? When did you get the love for the fashion? Where did that come from?
So I think it really came from after kind of learning a little bit more at Transitions Academy and learning how to like style lenses, because we have to really think about eyewear as another accessory. Even though yes, it's a medical device, it's something that people rely on to function, but at the same time it's like just because you have to wear something doesn't mean that it has to be ugly. It doesn't mean that it has to like look, make you look a different way than you want to. So it should be an expression of your personality. And once I started to see it that way and think of it like as an accessory that can like level up my outfit, then it totally transforms like my mind state about what eyewear should be and what it should look like. I love being adventurous with eyewear, and you probably know I like to try on all the funkiest things and all the bright and
All day,
colorful ones.
all day.
Yes. But it's great to be able to, like, I think of it kind of like having shoes, right? Like, nobody has one pair of shoes that does every single thing for them. You shouldn't have one pair of eyewear to fit every single thing for you either. Just like you have one pair of workout shoes, one pair of, like shoes to go out, one pair of like walking shoes or, nice shoes. The same thing is true about eyewear. You don't want to wear the pair that you're wearing at the gym that you do to the office. So you kind of have like you should have a collection of eyewear, and that will help to kind of increase the like longevity and the lifeline of or lifetime of the eyewear as well, because you're not wearing them every single day. But it's just a way to kind of make your outfit different and just kind of like accessorize yourself. But I just love it. I love being able to like choose an outfit based off of my eyewear now too, based off like the color or something like that, or the style or the shape. It's just a fun thing to be able to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely loved and still love Vision Expo. Getting to see all of those brands in one space locally in the US was really good. And then still getting to connect and engage with everybody. We knew all the reps and knew all the industry people, and then you keep that connection and that engagement going. I'm excited to see what Vision Expo. I know they're reimagining, especially East. But West is pretty similar to what it was before. So I'm hoping that people can keep that going because uh, eye care and optometry really does need that. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Now, me and you got to take our bestie relationship across the world. We got to go on the other side of the world.
Yes.
So we got to become ambassadors now from Transitions to Vision Expo to now we got to be ambassadors for Mito and went over to
Mhm.
Italy and Milan. And we got
Yeah.
to go, I got to go twice. You got to go 3 times. You went without me. You didn't
Yeah.
care about me. You just went without me. It's fine. It's fine. I don't judge you. You went without me. It's fine. But how was that experience? Because being in America, you think of it as this is your world, and then Mito got you to realize that hold on, you are this, we are that. So
Yes.
what?
Yes.
How was your experience going over to Mito?
So Mito, first of all, like we both realized when we got there, is ginormous. Like the conference itself, like is like 10 of Vision Expo, like the size of the conference hall. And it's just insane the amount of sheer, like you can see everything from like eyewear production line, like from the machines to lens technology to frames, like all the different things that you would want to see at any type of conference like that. The thing that I like always love about Mito or about any type of European show is the fact that Europe is a little bit more fashion forward than us. And just thinking about even like the men per se, like the men, they dress a little differently. They're not afraid to wear color. They're not afraid to, wear accessories and be a little bit bolder with their style. And I just love walking even on the show floor and seeing people and what they're wearing. It was like I felt like I was at like New York Fashion Week or something like that. Like just seeing people walk around like in their day-to-day outfits was just like, whoa, they're like really dressed up and they look nice. And it's just so cool to see that. And it's really inspiring. And I try to bring that back here too when I come back, because I feel like we're a little bit more conservative when it comes to eyewear, especially when people are so used to like that black rectangular frame. I'm like, let's step out of that box of, let's try something different. Maybe try something that goes with your color, your skin color, or hair color a little bit better. Maybe that will accentuate how bright blue your eyes are. Like there is so much in the world of eyewear and design and how you can customize your lenses and stuff like that, that it's just a shame that we don't take advantage of it as much as other people. And I think that's the thing that I love the most about going to those shows, because it's so inspiring to see how they customize things and make it their own.
I agree. Going over there, you got to see that. Oh, we thought we got to see all the brands. No, you have to. We see the brands
Like
that
this
have
much.
U.S. distribution, right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
don't see all the brands that are there. Like getting over there, realizing that these companies make stuff just for Australia.
Yes.
These companies make stuff just for the EU, and
Yes.
we're getting this over here. Uh, to see the length and breadth of it, I think at first it's overwhelming. That's why I was happy I was able to go twice because the first time was like drinking out of a fire hose. Like it was a lot. I remember going into
Yeah.
a lecture hall and they were handing me the headphones for the translation. And being in America, you're not used to that, right? So
Yeah.
I was telling the lady, I was like, no, I don't need the headset. And she's like, no, you need the headset.
You need
I'm
it.
like, no, 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 I don't
Yeah.
need the headset. Like, I don't want to, I just listen. And she's like, sir, you're going to need the headset. And all of a sudden they start talking, and I'm like, oh, I need the headset. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't understand any of this at all. I don't understand any of this at all. Not even a little bit. So I put the headset on, and like they'll talk for like a minute, and they'll just say, nice to meet you. And I'm like, in the translation, I'm like, that could not be that. Like, those words,
There's no way.
there's no
We
way.
missed the whole thing.
There's a lot. You're leaving out a lot. I'm missing a lot here. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was definitely a really good experience, and I think I wouldn't trade that for anything. I think definitely getting to see that, and we got a lot of laughs and met some different people because other
Yeah.
people were there, not just us.
Yeah.
That Nito brought over. So hopefully more docs get to, I'm not gatekeeping. Hopefully more docs get to experience that, and then
Yeah.
hopefully on your own dime, go out there and experience it because I think it's definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
So you are my favorite KOL. Okay. I like
Oh,
you say
thank
all
you.
your
You're mine.
articles and your lectures, and when you're on other podcasts, I definitely listen at all that stuff. Now, what is your favorite medium from to actually being able to connect and engage with the audience? Is it writing a lecture? Is it being on podcasts? Is it presenting on a stage? Is it what is the medium that you feel the most authentic and you actually like to do instead of me begging you to come on here and you don't have a choice in between patients or recording? Which one would you choose to do?
I think it would probably be like small dinner lectures or podcasts. I feel like podcast is like we're having a conversation, we're just like catching up again. And then the small dinners, because again, when you have a smaller audience, you get to have that one-on-one connection. As much as it's a great experience and something to like put on your resume of things of being able to speak on a large stage, but the actual connection that you make is so minimal that I'm really about that one-on-one. And that's why I think I love patient care so much, is because I get that one-on-one experience with patients. So when I get to do that and I have dinners and I do speaking events when they're like smaller venues and I have that time, maybe like 8 to 10 people, that's really when we can sit down and have conversations, learn from each other, and just network together. The things that we should be doing. So it's a lot of fun when I get to do that.
Okay, okay, okay. I agree. But so are you trying to say you didn't want to be on the Vision Source stage with the Eagle? Are you saying that
it was
wasn't
a
the experience?
it was a great experience for sure. You know, I, it's not that I didn't like it. I just find that it's harder to make such an impact when there's so many people, and especially with that type of a presentation where you have a certain amount of time that you're allowed to be on the stage too, so they're rushing you. Like before we went on the stage, the girl was like on the radio like, oh, we're 20 minutes behind, and we were like, well, what does that mean for us? Like, do we have to cut ours short? Like, there's a lot of stress involved with that, but also like when you have that many people in the audience, it's like probably 90% of them are not listening to you, like listening to what you're saying. And it's like the engagement level is lower, right? So, like, if I want to make an impact, I want to have the smaller, audience. But I think it was such a great experience. I would challenge myself to do it again, but in a totally different medium and a different type of presentation. And I think that would be a better gauge of whether I actually liked it or not. But it was nerve wracking. It was so scary.
You did good. You did good.
I was
I'll
just like,
tell you,
don't die, don't die.
the Eagle was coming. You were like, ah!
Yeah.
But you did good. You did good. You did good. All right. So now you have officially bought the practice from your dad. So instead of you working for your dad is working
Yes.
for you now.
Yes.
How does that feel? Even thinking about it, I'm saying that your dad works for you, not the other way around now.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I mean, it feels great to own the practice. I feel like it's a long time coming, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of the things for the practice for a while now. It's just now it's official. Like it's on paper. I'm signing I'm paying all the bills. I got to look at all the numbers and do all the things. It feels good, but it's also, I mean, it's nerve wracking too. Like I feel like there's a lot of changes coming, especially this year. That it's a little nerve wracking to be prepared and to know how the business is going to survive and stuff. But it's really exciting. I feel like now I can finally like do the things that I want to do in regards to like patient care, but also like renovating space. So I'm excited to see what I can do in the next 5 to 10 years.
You started right away sending me pictures of painting the walls and putting stuff on. I'm
Yeah,
like, why, like 2 days ago?
already,
They're like, you know what? Get
already.
rid of all this stuff. We're getting rid of that. Paint,
It's a
do
slow
this,
process, but we're doing it. We're doing it.
lighting, wallpaper. You're
Yeah.
going in there. So I love it, love it, love it. Now, where would you say is your core focus for the office? Because we do all this stuff. That's one thing about optometry, can be a jack of all trades, master of none kind of profession. But where would you plant your flag as this is my core focus for the office?
Um, I mean, there's so many. I mean, at the end of it, I would say it's always patient care. Like I love that one-to-one time with them, and I feel like that's what I'm good at. And that's what I'm here for, right? So like all of the other stuff is kind of that noise that allows me to do this stuff, right? But I think it's the patient care. I'm great at other things. Like I think in another life I could be great at a desk job and just like managing numbers and looking at spreadsheets all day. But I feel like I'm really good at the patient care and educating people and talking to people. So
Patient care. Okay, some doctors say that's the part they don't want. That's crazy to say. The optometrists would then say that they don't want to do the patient care when we are the patient care kind of profession. But
yeah,
if people
that
do see
funnels
it,
all the other stuff. That allows you to do all the other stuff, right? Or makes it so you have to do all the other stuff.
without the patient care, you wouldn't need all the admin time. The admin time is only
Yeah,
because you did the patient care.
yeah.
So all right. Now, where do you see the office growing in the next 10 years? Because your dad had 3 locations down to one. Now pass it on to you. Now, where do you want to take the office 10 years from now? So when you look back 10 years from now, that you'll say, this is what I did to the office. Your dad did this. What do you want to do when you look back, or when you're passing it off and selling it to somebody else? What's
Yeah.
what's the part your goal to do to it?
Yeah, I obviously want to grow it. I want to grow the dry eye part of the practice and hopefully branch out into aesthetics a little bit more. California is a little bit more complicated when it comes to some of the dry eye treatments that we can and can offer at this point in time, but in due time we'll be able to do all of it. But I think that's such a growing part of our industry, and a lot of people in this area struggle with it. So I feel like it's like there's a need for it. I also want to grow the part of just giving excellent like customer service as well as like the experience. So elevating that experience the patient has so that we can differentiate ourselves from other places, whether it be competitors or corporate, whatever it is. Like I want the patients to walk in my door and know that they're gonna have something different here than they would down the street. So that's what I'm trying to work on with like renovations and things like that and training my staff and everything. So I'm hoping. So I want to grow in that direction and kind of grow the practice and do those types of things.
Okay, aesthetics, growing back into that. Okay, that's not my. I like the dry part. I don't like the aesthetics part. So I'll refer them over to you. We have snowbirds, so people come over here and then they go. Some people like Santa Barbara. They like some of those like areas. I'm like, people jump back and forth. They're like, yeah, it's too hot here. I'm gonna go to Santa Barbara
Yes.
in the summer here because they say it's really cool over there. So
Yeah.
uh, definitely they're switching up. Now,
Yeah.
what would your younger self tell you? Not what you would tell your younger self, but the younger version of you, the 12-year-old, the 16, the 18, the
Mhm.
22-year-old, and now where she's looking at you, what advice would that younger person tell you, or how would that younger person advise you today?
I would probably tell myself to not like don't forget to have fun with it. Like no matter what it is, like whether it's stressful or whatever, like make sure to have fun and take that time to like enjoy it, connect with friends, and do the things. I mean, I think that that's something that I get really caught up in, is like the whirlwind of work and just forgetting to like take that time to myself.
And enjoy it. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And sometimes the life
Yes.
and you start focusing on that. But the younger version of you would have been like, just do it. It's gonna be fun. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Don't be
It's
afraid.
gonna work
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna work out. It's gonna
Exactly.
be good. Now, what does Jen like to do for fun? Not eye care related. What are your hobbies? How what if you're not at the office, you're not here, what is a hobby that people wouldn't even know that that's a hobby for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So besides traveling, of course, I love traveling and learning about different cultures, and
Mhm.
immersing myself in something completely outside of my realm of what's familiar to me. I actually really love crafting and like scrapbooking. I got into this thing called junk journaling recently, which is basically like scrapbooking, but it's like a mix of like journaling with scrapbooking together. And it's like a way for me to like, decompress my thoughts at the end of the day, but it's also a way to be creative. So like I can use random things throughout my day to like, showcase this is what I did today. Or maybe I have, I had lunch with a friend, so I want to like create a memory of that. So then I'll like, print a photo or save the receipt from the place that we were, and then I put that in there. So it's like a great flip through of like memories. So it's a really fun way to just like be creative and let my mind do something completely different than what I do on a day-to-day basis.
So do you have the crafting room? Do you have the whole crafting table and the whole thing? Or
I
are
wish
you
I had the room. have a little trolley cart, and it's like
you have a trolley
exploding
cart?
with things. Yeah,
So are you
yeah.
putting this on a
I have a
dining room
trolley
table?
cart.
Like if we came to your house right now, does the dining room table have Elmer's glue and the receipt and stuff like that on there? Like a ticket to an event? Like
It's
is
a
that
coffee table
okay?
in front of
On
the
the coffee table.
TV. In front of the TV. In front of the TV is like there's a mess.
Okay, right now. So coffee table, cart, and then
Yes.
when people are coming over,
Yes.
you're like putting it all in, you're rolling it back away, and then you're doing
Yes.
craft journaling. Okay, craft. That's new. See, that might be the California part of you. See, this is the Cali girl kind of coming out right here with the craft journaling. That is definitely a Cali kind of thing. It's got to be. That can't be nationwide.
Really?
That can't be.
I feel like people do it everywhere.
That up. That's got to be a Cali thing. That's got to be a Cali thing. All right. Now, all the companies that you work with, and you told me what avenue you like to present in, but how do you decide who you work with? Because there's a bunch of companies. You have a great personality. You're great on camera. You always come prepared. So everybody's beating down your door to get with you and to have you be able to represent their brand. But how do you choose who you say yes to and the ones you say no to?
That's a great question. And we talk about this, ourselves a lot personally. I think when I first started in doing social media and like slowly became a KOL, I kind of said yes to everything because I wanted more experience, right? So I wanted to learn more. I wanted to give myself that opportunity to grow. But now I'm very selective and I only work with companies that I actually utilize. So if it's like a product that I actually prescribe or a brand or equipment that I actually utilize, that feels more authentic to me, but also it's like I can truly speak on what it is, right? Like I have that background experience with it. I think when I first started, it was great, but I think when now that I've been doing this for a little bit of time, I realized to me, it just makes me feel better at the end of the day that I know that I'm supporting the brands that I already work with and I already have a relationship with. But it also makes me feel like I'm more educated on whatever the topic is in regards to their products. So it is a tough call sometimes, when some people really want to work with you and it's a great product or whatever it is. But I just sometimes have to say no if I'm not as familiar with it. So like I wouldn't want to speak for NeuroLens because I know nothing about NeuroLens. So like it would not be something that I would feel comfortable doing.
Makes sense. I like authenticity. I think having credibility in profession is really important. And once
Yes.
you lose that credibility, you can't get it back. And then when
Yes.
others feel like they're getting sold to, doesn't work really well. But I think if you can talk from your experience, something you've used or something that you've had an experience with, does really work and it plays well and it's believable. So I love that. Now, Is there anything that we didn't discuss today? Because I wanted people to get a chance to get to know you. Now I'm going to bring back on later because I wanted you to talk more about IPL and how you use it in your practice. But I wanted this to be a meet Dr. Jen here and get to know her episode. And then
Thank
you
you.
guys are going to hear from her again, and we're going to get down to the business of how she uses IPL and aesthetics in her practice. But I wanted to make this a part one, part two kind of thing. But is there anything else about yourself that you would want to discuss or talk about, or nobody ever asked you on any other podcast or any other opportunity to share anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I think the main thing is like you and I really like talk about all the time is like putting yourself out there and networking and making that time, investing the time to go to these conferences and meet other eye care professionals is super important. Like I feel like that has given me so much inspiration and motivation to continue doing what I'm doing. I think I would probably not like optometry as much if I wasn't doing that. And I do find that when we go to these conferences, it's always the same people. And that's why we're so close, you know, we're such good
Are
friends,
you
is because
going?
we always same people, right? And I encourage more people to go to put themselves out there because that's what we did. We're both introverts and like we went to the conferences alone with zero friends and now we're like best friends and we have all these other people that we hang out with. And you know, it's a great way to have other people to bounce ideas off of and who understand what you're going through. I think that's so important. Like not only do you have your classmates, but you have other people that are just as passionate as you or in the same stage of growth as you are. But definitely being involved is like something that I think not a lot of people think about, and it's so important. I feel like it's so important.
The hard part now is that when you build relationships with people, if they don't go to the conference, you're like, I'm not going. And then when you just said we're both introverts, people that are watching this podcast and are listening to this gonna be like, "There's no way they're not introverts." Da, da, da.
I
And
know.
I'm like, very much so. Yeah, this takes a lot of
Yes.
work. This is a lot. Like
Yes.
I'm need a
We
15
turn it
minutes.
on. We turn it
Yeah,
on.
turn it on and off. Like it takes a lot. Like it definitely. And people are like, "Oh no way." I'm like, definitely. That's why you don't know me that well. You got to get to know me a little bit better. Understand? Well, thanks
Yeah.
so much for being on here. Now, how can people get a hold of you? Any companies, anybody out there that wants to get her and get to know her and get her using their product in the office, how should they reach out to you?
Yeah, there's a few different ways. You can find me on LinkedIn, Jennifer Chin, or online on Instagram is at Dr. Chin. So my last name has two N's. So
Two N's. Get it right. Spell it right. Okay. Thank you so much for being on here. I'm gonna let you go back to patient care because you're in Cali, I'm in Florida, so the time zones and everything like that. So thank you so much. All right. Talk
of
to you later.
course. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye. All right. So that was Dr. Chin. She was amazing. I'm so excited to have her as a friend. I'm so excited that more people get to know her, get to meet with her. Now this is the part of the show that I like at the end of the episode where I get to do my tip the hat moment. And my tip the hat moment today is for Intrepid Eye Society. I didn't know so much about it during COVID, but somebody told me about it. I said, hey, you should look into Intrepid Eye Society. I think you would be great to join that. And I just reached out and I said, hey, I like you guys. What's going on over there? I want to get to know a little bit more about it. And they reached out and they says, no, I think you'd be a great member. And then they voted and I got in. And it is about emerging thought leaders in the profession. And I think the emerging and the thought leader part was so impactful for me getting to see what they had their first annual retreat that we did in California around San Francisco a few months ago. And it was great to be in the same room with a lot of people that were having shared similar experiences. And then the companies were trying to get our thoughts and our ideas of how we want to shape the profession. Because the thing about having the younger, under 50-year-old thought leaders is we are the people that would be using the technology 10, 15, 20 years from now. Some of our thought leaders that are used in the profession or direct a lot of the things in the profession, they're close to retirement. So the things that they're trying to come out and bring into the profession, they may not actually use in patient care. But for the Intrepid Eye Society members, we're trying to get the profession to be better because we want to use it. We're still going to be in patient care. We're still going to be seeing and utilizing the technology. So my tip the hat goes to Intrepid Eye Society, all the docs that are involved, all of the committee members, all of the staff that goes into putting those functions and those engaging opportunities together. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Any companies out there that don't know about Intrepid Eye Society, you just heard about it, Google it, look it up, join, support, and any docs out there that write articles and do podcasts and do presentations, and you think you'd be a great member, reach out, let them know that you're interested in joining. And if you keep making waves, they'll probably reach out to you. So shout out to everybody there. Thank you guys for coming on to another episode. Hope you love it. Hope you like it. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And if you want to learn more about how to get your business to the next level, download the book, Play Chess Not Checkers, The Practical Guide to Warm Start Your Dream Optometric Practice, Dr. Adam Ramsey. If you put it on Amazon, you can get it. And then there's an Audible of, if you want to hear my voice a little bit more, I actually recorded it myself during COVID on my dining room table. If you want to just listen to it on your way to work or on your way to a conference or a trip, download it, look at it. If you're thinking about opening your own office, it's a perfect guide to help you out. Thanks. Enjoy.